Okay, let's get right into it. Over the next 2 decades, AI is going to completely rewrite the rules for millions of jobs. Some will vanish, others will get chipped away task by task, but a select few, are going to get stronger than they've ever been. So the real question isn't if your job will change, it's how you're going to adapt, to not just survive, but to actually thrive. We're going to break down the new rules for success right now. Look, this isn't some far-off science fiction movie. This is the reality that's taking shape as we speak. So how do you make yourself indispensable in this new world? Well, it all starts by understanding the forces that are going to decide who comes out on top. To figure out which jobs are genuinely safe, we need a framework, right? A way to analyze any career against this tidal wave of automation. I've kind of boiled it all down to 5 critical rules of survival. First, and this is the most obvious one, is the automation risk. We're not talking about AI giving you a helping hand here. We're talking about it completely replacing the core functions of what you do. If the answer to that question is yes, well, that's a massive red flag. Second is what I call human necessity. Is there a fundamental, irreplaceable need for one human to connect with another? Think about the trust you put in your doctor or a therapist. That's a currency that AI just can't mint. Third, you gotta look at demographics. The big picture trends in society really matter. In the US and a lot of other countries, the population is aging, and fast. By 2040, a huge chunk of the population will be over 65, and that is going to create an absolutely unstoppable demand for certain kinds of services. Number 4 is policy and regulation. Sometimes jobs are actually protected by good old-fashioned red tape. Roles that need official licenses or carry really strict legal accountability, we're talking lawyers, airline pirates, they have this built-in defense system that slows automation down to a crawl. And finally, skill barriers. Plain and simple. How hard is it to do what you do? And this isn't just about how many years you spent in school, it's about complex physical skills and that nuanced judgment that only comes from deep, deep experience. So with these 5 rules in mind, let's look at the jobs that actually make the cut. First up, we've got Tier 1, the human fortress. These are the careers that are defended by these deep moats of high-stakes responsibility, complex physical work, and profound human trust. And at the very top of this list, you'll find surgeons and specialized physicians. Why? Because while AI is going to become an incredible tool for diagnosis and planning, it can't take responsibility. And the demand for them is just staggering. The US alone is projected to have a physician shortage of over 120,000 by 2035. This demand, which is driven by that aging population we talked about, creates an ironclad layer of job security. Now, what's so fascinating here is the core concept. It's accountability. When a life is on the line, society demands that a human being is ultimately in charge. Think about it. No one is suing an algorithm for malpractice. That final call, that ethical and legal burden, that remains fundamentally human. Next up in this fortress are the skilled trades. We're talking about the people who navigate the messy, unpredictable physical world, something robots are still, frankly, terrible at. Imagine trying to fix a burst pipe behind a wall or repair a power line after a storm. So while we're all busy building this digital future, our physical world is aging and needs constant human intervention. And the numbers back this up, showing steady, strong demand for these roles. After all, you can't download a plumber. But just surviving isn't the only strategy, right? The next tier of jobs doesn't just resist AI, they actually thrive because of it. These are the AI collaborators. So the most obvious role here has to be the AI systems architect. And listen, these aren't just coders, they are the master builders. They're the ones designing, overseeing, and validating the very AI systems that are transforming every other industry. They're holding the blueprints to the future. And their value, well, it's reflected in their compensation. Top-tier architects can command salaries well over $300,000 a year. And why is that? Because they are the essential human layer of judgment, making sure these incredibly powerful systems are safe, ethical, and effective. Our final category is Tier 3, the creative edge. This is where the people who direct AI separate themselves from those who are simply replaced by it. It all comes down to human vision. Sure, an AI can generate 1,000 images in a second, but can it invent a brand's unique voice from scratch? Can it anticipate cultural trends, understand irony, and map out a multi-year strategy to connect with a very specific audience? No. That is the realm of human vision and human taste. So the crucial takeaway here is this. AI is becoming the ultimate execution tool. It can do the what, but the safe, high-value jobs belong to the decision makers, the people who provide the strategy, the taste, and the vision, the people who provide the why. So what does all this mean for you, right now, today? How do you take these insights and actually build a personal strategy for the next couple of decades? A lot of people instinctively think the goal is to just get better than the machine, right? To work faster, to outcompute the computer. But is that really the right way to be thinking about this? Absolutely not. Trying to compete with AI on its home turf, speed, data processing, that is a losing battle every single time. The true path to security and success is to become an expert collaborator. So, here's your survival kit boiled down to 3 core principles. First, double down on any role that requires human judgment and accountability. Second, focus on careers that serve essential, timeless human needs like our health and our safety. And third, you have to master AI collaboration, using it as a tool to amplify your uniquely human skills. In the end, future-proofing your career isn't about resisting technology, it's all about adaptability. The winners of the next 20 years will be the ones who master new tools, lean into their humanity, and evolve faster than the world around them. The real question isn't what AI will do to us, but what we will choose to do with it.